Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm audible to you. Okay, we will start the session. Before that, let me just revise. So in our last session, which was the day before yesterday, we have discussed about the structure of the Linux OS, yes, where we discussed where exactly what data will be stored. Yes. So when we install the Linux OS, where it will be there on the slash. Then the slash contain many subdirectories, which we have discussed. So the slash root, the slash root contain what? Root user created data. Yes, we have discussed that. So we have discussed this. Yes, I'm just revising it. Then we'll start today's session. So we discussed on that day the structure of the Linux OS. So where exactly what data will be stored, we discussed. Slash contain Linux OS in the form of many subdirectories. Slash root contain root data. Slash home contain all users data. Slash boot contain Linux kernel, bootable file and bootloader through which it will do the booting process. Then slash bin contain all users command. Slash yes bin contain all root command. Only root can use that command. Slash bin contain all users command. USR contain installed application. etc contain configuration file. Dev contain hardware devices information. Where contain log files. Lib contain library file. OPT to install third party application. Inbuilt application will be stored in USR. Remember, when we install the inbuilt application, it will be stored in USR. Third party application in OPT. Media directory to access removable storage device. MNT directory to access the like our partition. So in Windows, everything is accessed with a drive letter. In Linux, everything is accessed with a directory. Temporary file contain this. And I told you, lost plus found will be created when we mount the directory to the partition, which can be used to recover the system or recover the file system. So this is what we have discussed in the in the in the yesterday, day before yesterday session. Now today onwards, we will start the practical. Today onwards, we'll start the practical. So our first practical will be how to create the how, how to install the OS. So our first practical will be how to install the Linux OS. For that, first thing you have to do is install the VM. First install the VMware. Then through the VMware, we have to create a virtual machine and do the installation of the Linux OS. For that, you have to download also the CentOS or RHL7. Okay. So I didn't remember whether I gave you the link to download the VMware and Linux operating system. Did I give you the link? Because I didn't remember. If I given the link, please tell me yes or no. If I'm not given, I have not given. Okay. So today I'll give you the link. So what you have to do after the session, you first download the VMware and install the VMware. How to download? I'll give the link. First download, double click on that, next install. So it will get installed. Then on that, you have to create a virtual machine. How to create virtual machine? I'll show you. And simultaneously, you have to download what? The RHL7 or CentOS 7. That link also I'll give you. Okay. Okay, fine. So this is the file I'll be sharing with you for practical purpose. So in this, everything is there. So first I'm giving you the VMware link, 15th as well as 16th, both I'll have. So I'll share you this file directly. I'll send you this file. Okay. So everything is there in this file from first day to last day practical. So I can share you this file once you make a payment. So did anybody has made the payment? So if you have made the payment, you just link to my mail ID. This is my mail ID. This is my mail ID. I'll be sending you the practical step file on that. Recording will be sent by our team, DURGASOFT team, but these 3 files I'll be sending you. So this is my mail ID. So though anybody has made the payment till now, if anybody made, you will just say yes and ping to my mail ID. I'll send you the file. If you are not done the payment, please make sure you do as quickly as possible, because today onwards we'll start the practical. Okay, already 3-4 days over now. Okay, fine. So first I'm giving you the link. So from this link, I'm putting it in the chat box. I'm giving you the first link about the VMware 16. 15th also I'm having, and the same file I'll be sending you once you make a payment, along with other 2 files for theory part, standalone and network. So please note down this link, and what you have to do, you go to this link. You copy only this blue one, don't copy this. So go to this link, download the first VMware, then double click on next. It will ask the key. This key you copy and paste it. Don't write manually. Copy and paste this key. Then restart the machine. The VMware will get installed. So once the VMware get installed, you will see one icon. You will see one icon on your desktop. Okay. And simultaneously, you have to download the OS. So I'm giving you one link, which is so the best link is this. For this also, I'm giving you the link. So I'll suggest you go with the first link, second link, where I've written 4.4 GB. I'm giving you the link for the operating system. The first link which I have sent on the chat box, that is for VMware, and the second link I'm giving you, that is for the operating system. So don't copy 4.4 GB. So all of you, please note down that link. Can you see the link? This is the link from where you can download the OS. And this is the link which you can download from the VMware. Did everybody receive this link? Can you able to see, all of you, the link for VMware, for the VMware and the ISMH file? Now see here, I'm showing you also. See here, I'm showing you the link. See here, this, you copy only this for operating system. Control C. See here, you go to the browser, paste this link. Now see here, you can get many OS. You do the 4.4. This is best. You just click on this, it should start downloading. This is for the iOS image of the operating system. Same way, I have given you the link for the VMware also. This is the link for VMware. So just to copy this, don't copy the heading and the keys. So just copy this link for the VMware also. 16 also I have, 15 also I haven't had. So you copy this. Now go to the browser. This is for the VMware. Open again the browser, then paste this link. Now you can download the VMware 16 version. See here, at the bottom you can see. This is for Windows, this is for Linux. Over. After downloading, double click on that. Next install, it will ask the key. I've given the key. So these 2 things you have to do. First, download the VMware and install it. Then second thing, you have to download the ISO image of the operating system, which I have given to you. So once these 2 things are ready, you can create a virtual machine and do the installation. So shall I show you how to create a virtual machine and do the installation? Today onwards, first practical. Yes, please tell me. Are you able to hear me? So please respond. Okay, fine. Now see here. So I already downloaded and installed the VMware, and I also downloaded the CentOS 7. So it will be downloaded on download folder. So for easy understanding purpose, I copied and pasted on the desktop. You can see here. CentOS 7 where I kept on the desktop. Here you see. So can you see here? So these two things I made ready. Now these two things are ready. I downloaded VMware and install it. And I also downloaded the CentOS 7. Now once these two, for OS, ISO image, you don't compress it or don't uncrypt, just download it and keep as it is. Okay. Now after that, you have to create first a virtual machine. So don't install the Linux OS directly on your physical machine. You keep your OS as it is. See here, my laptop physical OS is Windows 10. So on Windows 10 Pro, you download the VMware and install it. Now on the VMware, we have to create a virtual machine without disturbing our Windows machine. We'll create a virtual machine through the VMware. On that virtual machine, we will install the Linux OS. So whenever we are practicing, we'll power on. When our practice is done, we'll power off. And when you are doing this course, you require minimum 2 machines. So you have to create one more machine. So if you install directly on that, the Windows OS will be gone. And when we start the network admin part, you require one more machine. So at that time, you have to use one more laptop, 2 laptops. So that is a big headache. So to avoid all this problem, do this practical to the VMware. So on a single machine, we can create multiple machines. And it will work exactly same as the physical machine. There will be no difference. I hope you are following. So don't directly install the OS. Install the OS through the VMware. Whether I'm clear to everyone? Yes, I'm clear to everyone. If it is clear, you tell me. We'll start the creation of the virtual machine. On that, how to install the Linux OS, I'll show you. Okay, fine. So to create a virtual machine after installing the VMware, double click on that. So that will open only after you install the VMware. Download and install it. After installing, this icon will appear. So double click on that icon, then this will appear. This will appear to you. This window will come. So I install VMware 15th version. Now how to create a virtual machine now? So you can see here, create a new virtual machine. So you click on the option, create a new virtual machine. Then this window will come. By default, which option is selected? Typical. So go with that same option, typical. So it will allocate 1 GB of RAM, one processor. Then by default, this option is selected. So if you select this option and proceed, the OS will be installed on 2 partitions. It will be not installed on our required partitions. So you have to select the third option. So I repeat, first double click on the VMware, click on typical, next this window, you select the third option. So what is the advantage of selecting the third option? We can install the OS as per our requirement. According to our requirement, we can do the installation. So select the third option. I will install the operating system later. Then click on next. Here you have to select. By default here Windows will be there. So you select which OS you want to install, Linux. So select here Linux. So in the version, which one is got selected here? Default Ubuntu. But we want to install, which one we have downloaded? If you have downloaded RHL7, you go to the RHL. If you have downloaded CentOS, you go to the CentOS. CentOS 7 64-bit OS. Then next, here it will take this name. So if you want to change the name, you can change now. Whatever name you want to give, you can give. Okay. So now you can give any name, and later also you can change the name. Then after that, you have to go to the browse. So by default, it is this machine is creating where? In C drive. So you want to install in some other drive, you can do it. Like I have enough space. I have enough space in E drive. So I'll go to the E drive. I can create one folder. For my own understanding purpose. Next. So it is taking default 20 GB. 20 GB is more than enough. If you want, you can also have 11 to 12 GB also sufficient. Then select here, store the virtual disk as a single file. After that, click on next. Now, before you click on finish, once more time, I'll show you what are the steps we have done. So first double click on the VMware, typical. Second, select the third option. I will install the operating system. Then select here Linux. From the Windows, you select Linux and select which OS you have downloaded. After that, next, you can give some name and where you want to install. If you want to install in C drive, no problem. Next, size you give and select here virtual disk. Next. Now, before finish, you click on customize hardware. Click on customize hardware. Now, we are installing the OS through ISO image. So ISO image option is available in CD DVD. So select the option called CD DVD. Now here you go to the option use ISO image file, browse. So where I kept my ISO image, I copied from the download to the desktop. So here select it and say open. The path is given. Close. Finish. Suppose before you click on the finish, you have forgotten to give the path and you have clicked by mistake finish. Virtual machine is created. Still no problem. Before you power on, you can go to the edit. Now you can select here the path. Select the CD DVD, then select the option under CD DVD ISO image, browse. So where you have copied your ISO image or downloaded, you go there and select and say open. The path is given. Yes. Okay. This is how you can create a virtual machine. So please tell me, did you understood all of you? Did you understood all of you how to create a virtual machine? If you understood, I'll show you the installation. Yes, everyone understood? Okay, fine. Now we will proceed with the, till now what we have done is the creation of the virtual machine for the VMware. We have not done the installation. Now we are doing the installation. Okay, now I'm proceeding with the installation. So to proceed with the installation, you click on power on. Now here you go to the third icon here. So it will make full size. Now which option is highlighting? Test this media and install that. So that will work when you have the ISO image DVD. But this option Second option will work when we have inserted the DVD, ISO image DVD. But we are installing to the ISO image file. So you have to press up arrow key. I repeat, you have to press up arrow key. Now, which option is highlighting? First option. So press up arrow key, select the first option, install the CentOS 7. Now press enter on that. Press enter on that option. Now again it is asking us to press enter. One more time enter. Now it will get loaded. Now, once the OS get loaded, first thing we have to do is select the language of our choice to do the installation. So by default here, English. If you want other option, you have so many options you can change. So I'm going with the default English, then say continue. So first we have to select the option. Now you are getting a window, installation summary window in the form of icons. Are you getting the option begin installation highlighting? No, you are not getting that option. So why it is not getting? We have to configure these things as per our requirement. Then this option will highlight. So for that, what you have to do? First, set the date and time according to your location. So first click on the date and time. From here you can change, but it will take more time. So use the map. Suppose you want India standard time. So don't go inside the India, just be right side. Select it. Now the time region of India is selected. So it is by default 24 hours. You want 12 hours, select this. So date and time is matching according to your location. So once it is being set according to your location, click on done. Click on done. Click on the done. So daytime time is selected. The keyboard language already selected. Now come to the software selection. Now come. So don't do anything here. And already we have selected this. No need of keyboard language. Now directly after date and time, you come to the software selection. So whatever changes you will do here, it will update here. So under that, what option by default is selected here? Minimal install. So if you use this option, after the installation of the OS is completed, you can work only in the text mode. You will not get the graphical interface. You cannot use your mouse. So if you want to get the graphical interface and text mode both, you click on software selection. And here you have to select either server with GUI or GNOME desktop. So best option is select the server with GUI, so that you will get the graphical and text mode both options. Or after the installation, we can work in text mode as well as graphical mode. So for that, under the software selection, you change the option from minimal install to server with GUI in software selection. After selecting the server with GUI, click on done. So it will take few seconds to update. So please wait. Now it is updated. Don't do anything here in installation source. So are you getting begin installation highlighting? No. Then what you have to do now? Click on installation destination. So Windows OS, as I told you, Windows OS can be installed on single drive, single partition, that is C drive, single partition. So what is the advantage of that? It is easy to operate. But what is the disadvantage? What is the disadvantage? In Windows, if one of the OS folder gets corrupted, it will affect the entire OS. So to avoid that problem in Linux, what is the advantage we have? Linux OS can be installed on multiple partitions, so that if one of the Linux OS folder get corrupted, so that folder belong to which particular partition, that partition only will get affected without affecting the complete OS. That is the reason most of the servers in the world are working on Linux. So there are three main reasons for the Linux servers. Most of the servers in the world are working on Linux. So the three main reason is, first one, Linux has better security compared to Windows. So in Windows, you have only firewall. In Linux, in addition to firewall, you have IP table, SC Linux security. Security enhanced Linux. First important point, Linux is a very good security. Second point, Linux is a free and open source operating system with a good security, as well as when we install any servers or when we configure any servers in Windows, for some services you have to restart the machine, but in Linux we need to just restart the service, not the machine. So the downtime in the Linux will be very less. Second advantage with Linux, downtime will be very less. Third advantage with Linux, the Linux OS can be installed on multiple partitions, which you cannot do on Windows. So this makes Linux more secure, safe, and stable. That is the reason most of the servers today are working on Linux. So now we need to install the Linux OS on multiple partitions. So there is no limit for maximum, but minimum 4 partitions you should create at the time of installation. Minimum 4 partitions. So based on which type of server you want to configure, you have to select 4 partitions, minimum 4 partitions. So for that, you click on installation destination, then go to the second option. If you use the first option under the installation destination, if you use the first option, the OS will be installed on 2 partitions. So what is the disadvantage with that is, after the installation is completed, you cannot create your own partition. So we have to discuss the disk management also. Yes, for that we should be creating our partition after installation. So if you select the first option, you cannot create your own partition because it will create only 2 partitions. Free space won't be there. So to install the Linux and configure your Linux server as per your requirement, you have to create minimum 4 partitions. So for that, under installation destination, you select the option, second option, I will configure the partitioning. So I repeat, under installation destination, select the second option, I will configure partitioning. So with the help of this option, we can install the Linux OS on multiple partitions as per our requirement. So under installation destination, select the I will configure partitioning, click on done. Now go to the partitioning scheme. So here 4 options are there. 4 options are there to install the Linux OS. So the most commonly used option is LVM, but I think most of the people might not be knowing what is LVM. So I told you on the first day, we will be discussing the LVM. So once you know the LVM, after you know the LVM, if you do the installation, create your Linux installation through LVM partition, because if you use the LVM partition and install the OS, in the future, if your OS partition size get used up or there is no free space in your OS partition, if you use the LVM partition, you can increase it. But for that, you should know LVM. So if you don't know the LVM, you can proceed with the standard partition. So what is the difference here is, if you use the standard partition, whatever size today you are giving, that remains fixed. In the future, you cannot change it. But if you use the LVM partition, whatever size you are giving to your OS partition can be changed, can be resized if you use the LVM partition. So which one is the advantageous? LVM. But for that, we should know the LVM, which we are going to discuss in our coming day session. So after that, in the future, if you do the installation, select the LVM. If I select the LVM and do the installation, you may not understand. So better today we'll select standard partition. So once you understand the LVM in the future, you can use the LVM partition to install the Linux OS. Okay. Now go to the standard partition. So we have to create 4 partitions. So for that, you click on plus to create a partition. Then click on mount point. So we have discussed this, yes. So where the Linux OS will get installed on the slash, which is called root directory. So our Linux OS will be there on slash. So first to select slash. So you give this about 6 GB. So you give this size slash as 6 GB. Then click on add mount point. So how many partition is created? 1. But we need to create minimum 4 partitions. Then click on again plus symbol. Now the slash is created, so you will not find slash. Now slash boot. So we discussed slash boot contain Linux kernel, bootable file, and bootloader, through which it will do the booting process. Booting means loading of the OS. So we have to select the second slash boot. So it requires 100 MB. So we have to give more than 100. So I'm giving 200. So whether I return MB, no. So once you write 200 and enter, it will take default 200 MB. For all Linux servers, these 2 partitions are mandatory. So I repeat, for all Linux servers, these 2 partitions are mandatory. Common in every Linux server, these 2 partitions will be there. Now click on plus. So which type of server you want to make? So suppose you are making user database server. So you have to create third partition slash root. No, you are making application based server. Application server, you have to use slash USR. No, you are making syslog server. Log server if you are making, then create the var. So based on your which type of server you want to make, you have to select the option. So I want to make suppose user database server. So select the slash root. So here I'm giving 500 MB. In real time, it will be 500 GB, something like that. For our practical purpose, this size is enough. Okay, so how many partitions over? 3. So in all Linux server, these 2 slash would be common. So next, slash home is a user database server. If you want application server, you use select this. If you want log server, select this var. Okay. Now the 4th partition, to improve our system partition, to improve our system performance, you have to use swap partition. So swap is a logical memory. So this should be minimum 1 GB. Again, if you want to increase, you can increase. So how many partitions we have created for this user database server? 4 partitions. Minimum 4 partitions you have to create. So these 3 will be common, and the first one will be different. If it is a user database server slash home, if it is application server slash USR, if it is a syslog server slash var, like that you have to select. Now out of 12 GB, about 8 GB is over, 4 GB is there, free, that we can use after the installation. So please tell me, have you understood this? Up to this, everyone? Up to this, have you understood, everyone? If you understood, I'll click on done. Or if you have any question, any doubt, please ask. Understood? Okay. So now I'll click on the option done. So you remember this session is getting recorded. So you can see in the recording session also everything. Next, click on done. Then now it is asking, do you want to cancel the installation or you want to proceed? If you want to proceed with the installation, click on accept the changes. So click on accept changes. Now begin installation is highlighting yes. So if you want to give some name to your machine, you click on host name. Here you can give some name to your machine in the host name. Like I want to make this machine as a server. Any name you can give. And if you want to give some IP, you can go to the configure. This is our LAN card name. Then go to the IP version 4 setting. Select your manual IP if you want to assign some IP. Then click on add. Some IP you can give 192.168. 1.1 with the subnet mask. So this is class C IP. So 255 three times. 255 255.0. After that, click on configure. Okay. Then say done. Now you can see begin installation highlighted. Now click on begin installation. Now, who is the administrator in Linux? We discussed in the FHS class. Root is the administrator. So that name you cannot change. So in Linux and Unix, the administrator is referred with the name root. So while the installation is in the process and installation is going on, you have to set the root password. So for that, you click on root password. Then you can give your name as your password because you may not forget your name. So Linux is case sensitive. If you use any capital or small or all small letters, same thing you have to give. Or even you can give your name first letter for simplicity. Because if you forget root password, you can reset, but it is a lengthy process. So to avoid that, you can give root password as your name or the first letter of your name as a password. So which word you remember more frequently, that you can give the password. So it will say 8 character, but if you give one character, it will accept. Just you have to press the done twice. Forcefully, you are making it acceptable. Give the password and click on done twice. Now click on the one user creation. So compulsory you create one user with any name, any password. Even one character is enough. Then say done. 2 times. So now this many application it has to install. After this many application get installed, it will ask us to reboot. After reboot, we have to do few more steps that are called post installation steps. After that, installation is finished, we'll get the login screen. So in my laptop, I have SSD hard disk. So this might be done in 5 minutes. So please wait. So once this many application get installed, we have to click on reboot and few more steps we have to do. That is called post installation steps. After that, the installation will be completed. So all of you, please wait. Once 1186 application get installed, it will ask us to reboot. After reboot, we have to do few more steps. So, till we get that option, please wait. After that, I'll show you what are the steps you have to do. So I'm just waiting for that to happen. So almost 900,000 is over. Just it may take 2 more minutes. Please wait. Just 1 minute more. It will ask us to reboot. Then we have to reboot. Now it is asking us to reboot once this many application got installed. Now what you have to do, you have to click on reboot. Now we have to do few more steps. Post installation steps. Now, normally in Windows, we will get that box, I accept the license, but here you will not get it unless until you click on here, license information. So once you reboot, you will get this window. You click on license information. Then you have to check this box, I accept the license. So in Windows, mostly OK or next here, done. At the bottom, you will find finish configuration. Now the installation is finished. You got the login screen. So which user you have created, that will appear, but administrator name will not appear. So tomorrow we will see how to log in as an administrator, and we'll discuss the basic commands. So once you are done with your work, how to power off this machine, click on cross mark, power off. Okay. Then you can close this VMware. Yes. So here the payment issue is being discussed. So you can. Okay, so please make a payment. Even the Google Pay number is given. Okay. So I hope you have taken that note of that. And those who made the payment, just you can ping to my mail ID. I'll send you that file. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you, everyone. So if you have any questions or any doubt, please tell me. Regarding today's session, installation we have completed. Tomorrow we'll proceed with basic command. Starting from login, how to open terminal, how to check directory, how to change all those basic things we'll do. Okay. So is there any questions, any doubt, anyone? Yes, any questions, any doubt, anyone? Yes, every day the recording will be sent on your mail ID. One link will be created. On that link, every day recording will be sent. Apart from that, the 3 files which I'll be sending, and recording will be sent by our team, DURGASOFT. And within 1 or 2 days, they will change the link. So those who made the payment, for them, a separate link will be sent. From that link, only those who made the payment, they can log in. No, Linux administration is different. Shell scripting is different. So shell scripting, if you want to learn, separate course is there. So is there any questions, any doubt, anybody, or can I close the session? Yes, please tell me. You have any questions or can I close this session? Okay, I'm closing the session now. See you tomorrow.